Cupertino Senior TV Productions, in cooperation with the Cupertino-Sunnyvale chapter of the League of Women Voters, proudly presents the pros and the cons on the statewide propositions appearing on the ballot for the November 2nd election.
Propositions 20 and 27 are both on redistricting, and they are a case of directly competing propositions. Even if they both pass, only the one that gets more votes will go into effect. Back in November 2008, the voters of California passed Proposition 11, and that changed the way that Assembly and State Senate districts are drawn. After every census, districts are redrawn to adjust for shifting populations. But before Proposition 11 passed, the legislature drew the new districts. Proposition 11 changed that, and redistricting from the 2010 census will be done by a 14-member commission of citizens. Commission members have been screened for bias, then randomly chosen by the state auditor's office from a pool of the most qualified candidates. Now, people have had various responses to this change, and two of those responses are showing up on this ballot as Propositions 20 and 27. Both are constitutional amendments. Proposition 20 extends the work of the Citizens Redistricting Commission that was set up by Proposition 11. Proposition 11 did not change the way congressional districts are drawn, but Proposition 20 adds congressional districts to the Commission's responsibilities.
Why were congressional districts left off in the first place?
The congressional representatives were firmly against Proposition 11, and its backers decided to try to minimize their opposition by leaving their districts unaffected.
Any other changes in Proposition 20?
Well, under current law, the legislature needs to try to draw compact districts of nearly equal population and to keep neighborhoods and communities of interest together. Current law, though, doesn't say anything about neutrality. The legislature is not forbidden to consider the interests of parties or candidates. Proposition 20 puts congressional districts under the same conditions as Proposition 11 put those other districts. The Commission may not draw districts to favor candidates or parties. This can mean, for instance, that two incumbent representatives would find themselves living in the same district after redistricting. Now, who do we see for and against Proposition 20?
We have AARP, Common Cause, and the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce, and they say it will create fairer congressional districts. Money is coming from physicist Charles Munger, Jr., signing arguments against the California Black Chamber of Commerce, the founding chairman of the Fair Political Practices Commission, and the Congress of California Seniors, and they say that having the legislature do the job costs less and increases accountability. And the money funding from them comes from various elected officials' campaign funds.
What do you suppose brings the minority chambers of commerce in on opposing sides?
Well, the key here is the emphasis on communities of interest. Both Propositions 20 and 27 and current law say that communities of interest should be kept together as much as possible so that neighborhoods aren't split up but can take their common concerns to a single representative. Proposition 20 goes farther, though, and defines communities of interest in the proposition as, quote, a contiguous population which shares common social and economic interests that should be included within a single district for purposes of its effective and fair representation, unquote. Some people think that it works better when the Redistricting Commission defines community of interest for itself, and that too much attention on communities of interest can be detrimental.